Time standardization is one of the foundations of the modern world. Transport systems, communication networks, and entire economies depend on it. For example, China uses a single time zone, despite being wide enough for 5. All 1.5 billion residents celebrate the new year at the same time, while in some regions the fireworks have to go off in broad daylight. Most people simply accept it as a given, almost everywhere, but there is one exception. It's the literal edge of the map, a tiny dot between the desert and the ocean, the kind of place where civilization seems to survive on a single roadhouse, one gas station, and satellite internet held together mostly by optimism. In other words, the arse end of nowhere. Australia uses 3 time zones, officially. The West runs on UTC +8, the East runs on UTC +10. Central Australia runs on UTC +9.5 hours, because it was more convenient for Adelaide. None of those 3 quite fit here, so this place runs on its own. The entire population uses it, roughly 80 people. More people work at a single McDonald's, night shift included. This is Eucla, a small settlement on the border of Western Australia and South Australia, out on the Nullarbor Plain. A dot on the map. A few buildings in the middle of the desert. The kind of place you stop only for fuel and a meat pie. The long, almost hypnotic stretch of the Eyre Highway. Gas stations hundreds of kilometers apart. Blink and you miss the town. The time zone stretches for hundreds of kilometers. It's observed by roughly 80 people. It doesn't sit an hour ahead, or half an hour. It's 45 minutes, for no obvious reason. It could have been 41 or 47 minutes. The rest of Australia considers this an acceptable compromise. The matter was closed. Drive east and you gain 45 minutes. Drive west and you lose them again. This is considered normal. Perth is nearly 1,000 kilometers away. The nearest towns in South Australia aren't much closer. Living on Western time was inconvenient. Central time wasn't great either, so the locals did the logical thing. They chose the middle and split the difference. Not a law, not a regulation, not a scientific calculation. They just agreed, because it was easier. Smartphones handle this situation with quiet panic. They do their best. Some switch time zones automatically. Others simply give up and display UTC. For several hundred kilometers, Google, Apple, and the entire concept of modern civilization stop agreeing on what time it is. Navigation apps occasionally insist you arrived before you left. Delivery services list arrival times as sometime in the afternoon. Scheduling a meeting with someone in Eucla requires either basic mathematics or emotional acceptance. The official local solution is simple. Just call them first. Time differences like this create serious problems for railways, airports, and scheduled transport. Eucla presents the same difficulties, if any of it existed. So what would you choose? Living on the same schedule as an entire nation, or having a time zone of your own, the only one like it on Earth? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more.